Peace and abundance, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Heal Travel Love. I have been gone for a while, I know, but I have been going through so many transformations and I have so much good things to share with you all. And especially the topic I want to talk about today with the Hape, the cacao, and the mushrooms, y'all. It was such an experience, and I really want to dive deep and talk about how it really affected me, how it transformed me, and just go over how, the things that I saw, and the things that I witnessed during my ceremony it was mind blowing, but I am grateful. I am so grateful. So let's get right into it. So this past Friday, I decided to participate in a ceremony, a very deep spiritual cleansing ceremony. I had been going through things in my personal life that really made me ask for a mushroom trip so that I could dive deeper and open myself up to who I needed to talk to, which is my ancestors and my spiritual family, and just really dive deeper into our connection and really being able to get those messages. So I decided to participate in this ceremony. It was led by Colibre. Listen, y'all, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna pronounce these words as best as I can, and just share with y'all my experience. So this is a man, some people call him Baba. He's in the community here. He's deep in the community, so I've heard, and so I've seen here in Atlanta. And he hosts these events where you can go and you can receive these healing ceremonies by way of plant medicine, and he takes you on a whole journey. And I'm going to talk about that journey, y'all, because he takes us on an entire journey. And oh my gosh, if you're seeing this, thank you so much for leading that journey for me, for us, for so many people. Like, thank you so much. And so he's here. He comes to Atlanta. I went on the West End of ATL, and I got there at 6 o'clock. So I had came with the intent to already dive deep and heal and sort through all the stuff I was dealing with in my life. I already decided to do that because I was going through a lot. It was a lot that was happening, and I did not understand why, and I needed some deeper clarity. Yes, I was getting my readings. Yes, I was communicating with my ancestors at their ancestor altar, but I wanted to travel dimensions. And plant medicine can help you do that. I wanted to step out of my physical for a moment and step in to my spiritual body, and I wanted to have a communication, a conversation, and I needed the assistance with the plant medicine. So I had been calling in shrooms for a long time. I had been calling in that medicine, I want to say, for about a month. And then a sister hit me up and said, you should come to this event. I'm sure you'd love it. And I was like, you know what? This is exactly what I've been asking for. I'm coming. So I got there at 6 o'clock. It was chill. It was a vibe. Everybody was getting in, finding their areas, finding their spots. And I was relaxed. I was just taking in the scene because we were in a little studio. And so when the facilitator of the ceremony came, he introduced himself. He hugged everybody. Everybody met him, and I met, the women that were working with him, that were helping him. And it was just beautiful. And I felt safe. I felt good. I felt secure going into this because I have been practicing plant medicine for over 7 years. But this wasn't my first time doing shrooms. It wasn't my first time doing Hape. It wasn't my first time doing cacao. But it was my first time doing it all together at once. So I went to the next level for sure with this one. And I was ready and I was prepared. And I loved the setup. I loved the ceremony. So I came with my mat, my water, my blanket, my pillow. I came ready, y'all, to travel, and I traveled. Okay. So what he did was he put us, first he explained to us what was going to happen during this ceremony, what we were going to be doing. We are here to feel. We're here to travel and transform and have breakthroughs, get the messages, receive the messages that are meant for us. So before we opened up ceremony, we all had a stick and we said our name and we said 3 words around what we came here to do. And we called in our ancestors. So it was a beautiful experience. I loved how we opened up. I love how we always call in our ancestors to help guide us, and so we could receive those messages and we could just have that community, you know, with our ancestors, of course, and with the people who are there with us. So I had no issues with having other people there and having community there. So that was that. And after he did that, he showed us, he took us back to being in the womb, representing, being and laying in the position as if we were in the womb. And I was watching him show us, okay, we start small and we grow and we grow and we rise and we rise. And so that is what he was telling us to do on this journey, on during taking these mushrooms and the cacao, and if you chose to, the Hape, how to really open up and root yourself, root us back to our roots, get us to our centers, to our cores, and really open up our hearts, really dive deep, connect to spirit, connect to our ancestors, connect to what was before us, connect to what's coming after us, just connect, a deep connection. And he was showing us how we are going to journey. So after he showed us how we were going to journey, he did like a skit, or you know, and the light was on him. It was black everywhere around us, but the light was on him. He was showing us how we were going to journey. And I said, okay, all right, I'm going to start in the womb, as he suggested, in the fetal position as a baby. Start there, really dive deep there. And so after he lined us up, we got our medicine, we got our plant medicine. I had did the Hape. Now, for those of you who don't know what Hape is kind of like maybe they call it like a snuff, where it's tobacco based and it has other herbs with it, but they have this long little spout or tube or whatever, and they stick it to your nose and they blow it up your nose, and you get this rush of like plants and just the herbs and how they make you feel and how they make you transform. And you know, sometimes it can burn your nose a little bit, it make you cry sometimes, but you really start to feel yourself open and shift. And you know, it was good for me. So I did the Hape, and then I took the cacao that had the medicine, the plant medicine, the mushrooms in it, and it was really good. It was really good. And so, you know, we took it and we sat there, and then the drumming began and the music began and the singing began. And, you know, he had some phenomenal, amazing women there helping him, who are singing and playing on the buffalo drum, and we're going at it, we're entering, we're diving. And this is where my story gets interesting. I decided to lay down on my mat, pull the blanket I had over my head, and just journey. Like nobody else was around. Like I had blocked out everybody else. And I was traveling, I was going, and I had went to a place. And for one, I don't really like to disconnect from my body that much. I don't like to just let go. I do like to stay connected as much as I can. And so I was rocking myself while under the blanket so that I could remember that my physical is here still presently while I'm traveling. So I had went to a place. I was on a boat on a river. And to my right, there was a tunnel. It was all black. And to my left was a big, big structure of a man and a woman. They were jet black. And they were huge. And to me, what they felt like was the Divine Mother, Divine Father. And I asked them, I said, is there an easier way? Like, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to deal with all this, on earth. Is there an easier way? There has to be another. No, I asked them, I said, it has to be another way. And they said, no. And I said, are you sure? And the Divine Father said, no, the only way out is through. The only way out is through. He pointed to the tunnel, and I looked at the tunnel and I said, okay, I'm going to go through the tunnel. And so I was in the womb. Now, this is while I was in the fetal position. I was in the womb. I'm speaking to my ancestors, Divine Mother, Divine Father. And at this point, I'm just crying, pouring tears, just crying. And I'm still rocking myself back and forth. And I'm still I'm out of my body and I'm in this space. And my ancestors say to me, they say, you want the easy way out. You want the easy way. It was not easy for us here on earth. It's not going to be easy for you. It's not easy for many people. You have to stop looking for the easy way out. Because I was complaining and I was upset about all the things I had been going through. And I'm like, why me? And da-da-da-da. And they're like, listen, this is your life. You run it. You manage it. You get it done. It was not easy for us. It will not be easy for you. But we are here with you every single step of the way. We are here. And so I'm just crying. I'm crying. I'm like, I got it. I hear you. Oh my God. I'm just crying. And then I was so deep into that ceremony, that session, that plant medicine. I got so deep that I didn't realize that I had just bundled myself up so tight. Nobody could see my face. Nobody could see my head, nothing. And so then one of the women who was facilitating the healing, she comes and she rips the blanket off my head. And that kind of jolted me back. And she's fanning and she starts fanning the smoke over me. And they're rubbing my back and they're rubbing me and they're helping me and they're coaching me through it. And I'm, whoever that was, if you're seeing this, thank you. Thank you. Because I had gotten so deep. I was gone. I went on a journey. I did what he said. I took that time with me. And I had got stuck. And looking back, I had got stuck in the womb. I got stuck in the pain of the womb, in the womb position, because it was so much pain in our womb, and just from generations, generational trauma. The trauma that came with us from generations of women, even as Black women, from slavery to now, from before slavery to now, being an African American Black woman, dealing with that trauma that came with us from generation to generation to generation. I got stuck in the womb space. And I was crying and crying and crying and releasing and releasing. And it was so much that I had to dispel of in that womb space, that, again, I got stuck there. And so then one of the healers had to come get me. And, I'm a healer myself. I do holistic healing. I practice that. I'm a conjure woman. I'm into sound therapy. I do all these things. But good spiritual hygiene, and let me say this, good spiritual hygiene of a practitioner is when they take the time to pause and say, you know what? Let me go cleanse myself. Let me go address myself. Let me go take care of the things that are coming up in my life so that I can be a better service to everyone else, because we're all in this together, learning and growing. We're all in this together. And some of us are able to help others in this way. Some of us are able to help others in that way. So before I get to helping others in the way that is designed and destined for me to help others by way of healing and removing stress and removing trauma and bringing peace, let me do that for myself and those that are around me. So I took the time to pause again, because life came at me again, as it comes at so many of us. And I decided to take this moment. So, I was cleansing and cleansing and cleansing and cleansing all the trauma that was in my womb. All the traumas that was in my mother's womb, from my mother's womb, from my mother's womb. And they had to stand me up, get me up, because everybody was up now. Everybody else was up, standing, they're dancing, they're walking. We're all walking in a circle, spinning around, we're moving, we're getting up, we're celebrating, we're releasing still, we're communicating still, we're having community still. And I was so stuck because nobody in my family has taken the time to do that work. I am the one coming back to do the work. And now we're all, many of the women in my family are getting on board now. We're working together to relieve and heal, and we're having these deep, necessary conversations. But yes, I had got stuck, and so they were moving me, and the energy was still so heavy. I couldn't find my balance. It was still so much. I was still getting messages. I was going back and forth. But, they were so loving with the journey and how they were helping me process through this. And that's what I commend him on so much. Thank you so much for helping us and really paying attention to it. Some of us were going too far to the right, so I really appreciate that. And one message that really came to me was, you came here to make mistakes and be forgiven, and to make more mistakes and be forgiven, and to make more mistakes and be forgiven. And that message was so strong for me because I had been so hard on myself. I had not been present as well, and I needed to know the direct path I needed to take. I needed to hear some corrective, some correction for me, and I needed to know how to go about moving forward in my life with my particular personal situation. And it had helped me so much. This gave me so much clarity. It gave me so much peace. It gave me so much knowledge, so much love, so much high vibration, so much cleansing, so much of just a transformational experience. Like, when he's hosting another event, my advice is to go have a good time. Go get that lesson, go get that blessing, because that session eased so much of my pain. It eased my ancestors' pain. It eased the mothers and the fathers' pain. And I don't want to go in on this video too long because I know I'm getting very long, but I just want to say to y'all that I am back. I am back, and the mushrooms and cacao and the Hape, it was transformative. When I decided to leave early, first of all, it was like 2 in the morning by the time I decided to leave, and they probably went on until about 5 a.m. It was 2 in the morning when I decided to leave, and I got all the messages that I needed to receive. And I was still kind of like, oh my goodness, I was so woozy, and like the energy was so heavy. It kept coming. It can kind of knock you down a little bit if you are receiving so much energy and so many downloads and messages. And I just said, I said to my ancestors, I said to my spiritual family, I said, I'm ready to be back in my body. I'm ready to go home. And that's exactly what happened. And I got in my car. I was the first one to leave. And I went home and I made it home safely. And I'm so empowered. I'm so transformed. And I am back. Better than ever, y'all. Better than ever. And the situation that I was dealing with personally has been healed, has been mended, has been brought to a balanced state in my life, and I'm so grateful. And the work, the spiritual work, the inner work, all that, it matters and it works, and I'm so grateful for that experience. So thank y'all for hearing about my journey with the Hape, the cacao, and the mushrooms. If you get a chance, go ahead and check him out. Go to one of his events. They're awesome. They're phenomenal. If you like, you can also add me on Instagram at Shrine of Divinity. I also have a Etsy shop. You can find me on Etsy. I sell spiritual baths called My Boss Babe Bath. I sell money oil. I sell reversal work, which is protection work, and they all come with instructions on what to do. So you can find me at Shrine of Divinity. That's ShrineofDivinity. Shrine of Divinity on Etsy. So, yes, y'all, check me out. I got products dropping. I got all kinds of good stuff dropping. I'm trying to grow my Instagram page, Shrine of Divinity. And I'm going to be posting a guided meditation here. I'm going to be transforming this channel more so on guided meditations. So y'all check me out and y'all have a good day. Look forward to those guided meditations because they're coming and they're dropping. Thank y'all so much. Peace.